Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:26, and I just figured out Charles's secret.
Yeah.
Energy drinks. That's how he never sleeps. I
Do
just saw that.
Label?
I just saw that. I was like, that's how he does it. But joining us in studio this morning, Sheriff Mike Herrington, your UnderSheriff number 2. Is it UnderSheriff?
Yes.
UnderSheriff's the official title. I just number 2. He doesn't like number 2 because of Austin Powers. Austin Powers
I
messed
love
that
Austin
up. But the term number 2. But Charles Yslas joining us, and LT James Mason back with us. Morning, LT. How's everybody doing today?
Doing great.
Good. All right, LT. I know you want to hide, but you at least got to put the microphone in front of you. That's the rule.
It's a Friday morning. We're gonna get him squared away.
That's right. I don't know. He didn't tell you guys, but he came and said, "Where's the least one?" And he was like, I was like, right over there. First off, I know it's been a couple weeks since we talked to you guys. 2 weeks ago, you guys are out in the middle of the desert handling a case there. I think out in the middle. Well, everywhere's out in the middle of the desert out here. But how's things going at the sheriff's department?
It's going real well. We've done some things. We've got our 7 deputies at the academy right now.
All right.
Keeping up on that.
That's a lot. That's a big class for you guys.
That is a big class.
Yeah.
At one time.
Yeah.
And the PD has the same thing going on in Santa Fe. They have just as many there, and the reason for that is because the academy was closed down for so long that
now it's making up.
Now you got to get them in there, or they're going to all have to be let go. If they didn't get in there. So we've been busy getting that done. The other thing is with the homicides that have occurred here in Chaves County, we've been busy chasing that and doing that work, and so it's been.
Unfortunately, you're having to do this stuff, but it looks like at least the updates I'm seeing online and stuff, you're making headway in these cases and everything.
Yes.
So that's a good thing. At least
it really
at least
is.
We're finding some closure on some of these stories.
As far as momentum goes forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really is, and we're thankful right now that the governor has declared us to be in the yellow, so that we can get back to business and start doing some other things for our local economy. Without having to worry much about the fight.
Sure.
And, we're always willing to take on that fight, but
you'd rather be on the same side. Yeah.
For the sake of the businesses, we have to get businesses open and doing some things. And one of the things that we're doing today is we have a funeral for a retired deputy.
I was about to go there. I saw yesterday the sheriff's department lost a family member, retired deputy.
Yep, retired.
How long has he been retired?
Not even about a year and a half.
Oh,
now.
wow.
And he got out and got into a good job, and that's a good thing.
So he was young, too, huh?
Yes.
I'm
glad you said that.
I'm about to say, folks, if you're looking for career in police work, you come in at 21, you do your 20, you're out in 40, and you do something else,
Yeah.
Just saying.
So job.
It is, but you retire early and go on and do something else.
Yeah. So, and one thing I wanted to say about him, he served in the military. He served with us for over 20 years, and
just a good guy, all around good guy.
And not only that, but he was a great cop in a sense where his reports, his criminal complaints, his affidavits were always spot on, and
he probably had a really good relationship with the public because. When you're around 20 years,
real jovial person.
Yeah,
that's what makes you a good officer. Is you're working the same community for 20 years.
Yeah,
if you don't know that community better than somebody, I don't know who else would.
Yeah.
I mean that's
so. He's going to be missed. And today we're going to give him his honors. And are
they going to do the big full procession and everything?
We're going to do that. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if there's any traffic situations we might want to let folks know about.
Because it will be at Anderson Bethany.
Okay.
We'll just go straight out from there and into the cemetery.
Logistically, it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's really close, so it's easy. But
pay your respects if you do see the procession here.
Absolutely.
Not that I need to tell folks; they know better. But pay your respects, pull over. Show your respect to this falling officer.
One thing I will say, because we have done a lot of funerals here in the last year, and the people of this community are really good about that. They do pull over and they do stop, and
I think some even step out of their vehicle
and put their hand on their heart.
Exactly.
People are appreciative of it. I think that means so much. I know that I always say this, and I've said it with you guys a bunch. When people come up to you guys and just say thank you and things like, you don't realize that is a big deal. I know it's easy and it seems almost trivial.
Yeah.
But because of the line of work a sheriff's deputy does or law enforcement does, 9 times out of 10, you're not rolling up on happy situations. It's just the nature of the job.
Yep.
So when people, even though, outcomes aren't in the best of situations, they're very appreciative of that officer being there to maintain law and order, to protect safety, to ensure everyone is safe and okay. That's people get that, and I think people around here get it, and especially in this world we live in now, where lines are muddied and everything else.
Right.
That thank you. That hey, we're back in the blue here. Hey, I see those officers sitting over. Let them pay for my coffee. Let them pay for their coffee. Things
really
like that. I mean, those are
a lot.
It's amazing.
So that's good.
And I know your officers are probably getting a little like, dude, I appreciate it. Don't worry about it. But
we're very thankful for that, and we do appreciate it. And
businesses are real good about that too. I know when I did the ride along, and y'all stopped for lunch, and the officers are trying to pay, and they're like, no, we got you covered. Thanks.
So that, like I said, that's the part of the state of New Mexico that we live in, where we are truly appreciated by the community, and that shows in more ways than just that. There's so many ways you can't even describe them, but so today
it's a
we're going to
testament
pay
what you do in your relationship with the. I mean, obviously, if they were mad at you, they're not going to throw some thank yous out.
It all goes back to the relationship you have.
Exactly. Exactly. You treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
I mean, that's a rule of thumb we got taught by our parents. Hopefully, when you were crawling. And that same ideology does not change as you get older. Yeah.
Well, and so today we're going to give him the respects that he deserves, and so there will be officers and people coming from other agencies from all over the place, because he's worked with.
I was about to say he's probably
he's been very. He was being a detective, but also being in this line of work, and within the state of New Mexico, you work with so many different agencies. People get to know you, and that's what's going to happen. So we expect to have a pretty good turnout for that, and we just
condolences out to the family and the officers and all the friends, and we're praying for you guys, and if we're not there physically, we're with you in spirit as you mourn this loss today. So one of the things that I also wanted to talk about, and I'm going to have James talk about it a little bit. He didn't get out, James. Sorry.
He's on the hook.
He's
on the hook.
I'm going to have him talk about our DWI program and some of the things that he's working on right now. And
I'm kind of curious, before we get into the things, are we seeing an uptick in that kind of stuff with the way COVID? I imagine we are.
You do, but it's because the bars weren't open.
That's true. Access is a little limited.
Yeah.
That's true.
So now a lot of people,
area.
It's not leaving the bars and catching them on the main roads. It's them leaving friends
in neighborhoods and
and until
Get-togethers.
and a lot of it is that people have to call and let us know, hey, I've got a drunk driver in front of me or whatever. But
please report those. You're the best eyes and ears out there. If you see somebody weaving, call 911, whatever, and let please don't try to take it into your own hands. I know there's histories of people doing some of that kind of stuff before. That's we appreciate your support and everything, but let the experts,
be a
the
good
professionals.
observer.
Yeah. Your information will be much more valuable than your efforts to try to stop it.
That's right.
And we're still running. We're running 10 a month.
Okay.
It's somewhere in that area.
Okay, so is that an average number, or is that low,
It's about average.
Okay.
What they've been running the last few months.
And actually, to be honest, well, I don't know. I'm kind of think, is that a good number or a bad number? I mean, any number is a bad number, but 10 a month. I mean, that's 10 that got caught. That's a good thing.
You have to think about really and truly how many people are out there consuming alcohol past that point, and we know that it's happening. The one thing is that we've had, especially during this COVID stuff, we've had shortness of manpower. We've had some other things, so we haven't had the same presence as before, so we weren't catching a lot of these people.
Sure.
And one of the things that we know is that if we catch you drinking alcohol and driving or drugs or whatever,
under the influence,
it's not the first time.
Yeah.
People will say, well, this is the first time. Well, maybe the first time you got caught.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. And so if you follow the Chaves County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, you see that I put the pictures of everyone who was arrested on there, and it's not to humiliate, but it's to teach the community that people that you may know have also got caught, which makes it real.
Well, and DUIs, and I was laughing earlier because I got to thinking about when just the process the first time,
right.
Because I was thinking it's not if you're the one guy that did it the first time and got caught the first time.
Yeah.
My advice to you: never buy a lottery ticket, scratch off, or anything else.
You're not that lucky guy.
Stay away from ladders. Stay away from all of that stuff because you have no business in there.
Right.
But
I think the statistics used to be 70 times before that.
Really? See, that's for you. So you guys know. I mean, you get that.
Know.
But and I would imagine because of marijuana coming into the scene being more prevalent now, it could be legal here recreationally before we know it. That's a little bit trickier to detect too, and being under the influence there, and breathalyzers don't do. Obviously, you guys have training on looking for people under the influence of narcotics, but that stuff doesn't show up on breathalyzers and things, and so the officer's instincts are much more needed on those until you do blood tests and things. But when you see, exactly.
But one of the things to our benefit as law enforcement in that sense is that alcohol, you have to be over a 0.08 to be declared driving while under the influence of alcohol, right?
This is
because
true.
you have to be impaired to the slightest degree. Where with marijuana, it's just the trace. So there is no impairment. It's saying that you have had it, and now
it's been ingested.
Yeah.
It's been ingested, and
by
here
whatever amount.
it doesn't matter about the amount. So
Now,
that's where things are different.
I'm a little naive on this kind of stuff, so this might be a dumb question. But if they legalize this stuff, will they change that
No.
ideology where it's
Same.
a percentage?
It would be the same.
Okay.
And it's just like alcohol.
There's
Alcohol is legal,
Okay.
but it has a limit to impairment.
Okay. And I didn't know, because this, again, on testing, can you test like a point whatever in weed or something? I don't know how that works.
It's going to be on the impairment.
Okay.
That's what they're going to, you have to have the impairment.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And keep in mind the 0.08, that is for your license. To the slightest degree, impaired to the slightest degree, they may not be a normal drinker, and they're a 0.04, but they're weaving all over the roadway.
Sure.
They're still impaired. They are still.
And then can they be charged?
They are still charged
Absolutely.
and arrested
Okay.
for
I didn't know if you had
DUI.
to change it to reckless driving or something like that.
The 0.08 is for your standards of your driver's license.
Gotcha.
That is where they say, okay, this is where
Okay.
it affects your driver's license. And
the
with
average-
If you're
double-
driving like an idiot and you're under the limit, you're still going to
so
get popped
you may
for a
not be a
DUI.
drinker, but that may be the time that you decide to have
Right.
a
Makes
couple
sense.
and drive.
Makes sense.
And
Yeah.
you may not be that 0.08, but if you're impaired, you're going to go to jail.
Makes sense. Okay.
So, all right, James.
Right.
I think they just covered everything. What do you got left?
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, there we go. Well, and we have a good officer that's doing our DWIs now.
Yeah.
He's been through A-Ride. He's been trained on how to detect.
With funding and everything, obviously we were talking about that, and obviously when it comes to like DUI checkpoints and things like that, that's funding coming from other places and things. Has that money dried up, or you guys having to do more of that on your own? Or are they still good? They're keep funding that and keeping it going. Okay, good.
Well, and on that note, we had to postpone some things because of the shortage of officers. But now we have where everybody's back.
Is everybody
full
back to
staff,
100% now?
And so we're
Imagine some officers probably have their COVID vaccines and going, and the ones that want to have it. And
the
things
ones
like
that want to have it.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that James is working on right now is getting guys sent off to school to be able to supervise roadblocks
Okay.
and some other things like that. So we're going to be doing roadblocks several times a month.
Good.
Just
Various locations and
various locations, but and we all know that the roadblock itself isn't where you catch the drunk driver. It's more of a deterrent. It keeps them off of the main roads, keeps them off, and so they're going to take the back roads. But we've already got guys waiting for you in those areas as well.
Put it this way: people behave when they know there's things going on, and so. We talk about DUI checkpoints, and people are like, don't tell nobody. And it's like, no, tell the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell everybody, because people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to drink tonight. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Forget that.
And
that's
that's a fact. We had a radio station here in town that was calling, giving out all of our locations where we were going to have the roadblocks, and they thought that was deterring us,
Sure,
or
hindering us.
hindering us.
You're like,
And
it wasn't.
No, actually
We were
not.
appreciative of
It's all about
yeah.
It's all about the public knowing that we're out there, and that if you do this, the chances of you getting caught are even higher.
Well, they've got to remember what your end game is too. Your end game is not
Right.
to arrest drunk drivers. Your end game is to
deter-
stop drunk
it's
driving, to
deter.
deter it. Exactly.
Well-
so you're not looking to want to arrest people. You would love to set up a DUI checkpoint and everyone goes through and they're clean as a whistle, and it would nothing happen. But I mean, that's not going to happen. But I mean, that's ideally you're not looking to
Right.
find drunk drivers and put them in jail. You're trying to make it to a point where people are going to drink. We're trying to make it so you realize the consequences for what you're going to do aren't worth the drinking.
That's exactly
that's-
right.
That's
what we do with everything.
Yeah.
Even traffic citations. We're not out there to say
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
want you to stop the action.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. This is and I think if you realize that's the mindset that the law enforcement's coming from, not we're trying to meet quotas, because I mean you hear all that all the time. That's not true.
And that's false. We don't have
all of that
quotas.
is bunk. That's just
How
stuff.
many of you have driven through Vaughan years ago and saw the car parked there? Never saw a person in it, but you slammed on the brakes. It's a deterrent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what we want.
You know what I've seen in Mexico?
Yeah.
I have a father. My father, they had a place in Mexico, and we drive down there sometimes.
They drive around with their lights on.
Well, they have not cop cars, but cop billboards with a cop car on it. Right. And so when you haul on it, for a second, it looks like a cop car's in there, but it's just a billboard of a cop car.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 3D painting on the side of the wall, right?
You know,
Exactly.
one of the things, and that's been a question to me, is why we don't have unmarked cars or ghosted cars, with the ghost decals.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the reasons is because I want people to know the sheriff is present.
Sure.
And when you're driving down the road, we've all seen this. As you're driving down the road, they see it.
We all
People
do.
slow down, and
It's
they
the
will.
pucker factor, or whatever you want to call it. We all have it. Yeah.
You can be doing 45 miles an hour in one of our vehicles, and people behind you won't pass you. Why? Because they're like, "What's going on?" So
y'all probably get annoyed with that. It's like, I'm just trying to get home, dude.
But it goes the same thing with patrolling neighborhoods. You have to be visible. You have to be visible. If you just pull up to a convenience store, it's good to have that vehicle marked as a sheriff's unit or a police car.
Sure.
That people see. Oh man, I was about to steal my gas, or I was about to do.
Mark.
Yeah.
You want that presence.
Yes.
Well,
It's community policing.
When you're not serving and protecting, you're almost walking and talking information
That's
centers.
exactly right.
And
You are that billboard that we
Exactly.
just talked about.
Yeah.
so when people have a question about something, it may not be enforcement, or it may be directions to how to get to something.
Yeah.
They see a person in uniform and they say, that's someone I can trust, that's someone I can talk
That's
to.
right.
And so even if you're off duty, you're off work, and you're just heading to grab a six-pack before you head to the house, you're still in uniform.
That's why
And they're like saying, hey, officer, I got a question, and you're still on duty.
We have it happen.
That's just, you wear the uniform, you're representing it 24/7.
And
We have it
just
happen,
how it
they
is.
walk up.
And just clarifying,
That's
we
the
don't
same
go to
one
grab
thing.
a six-pack.
Six-pack of Pepsi.
Oh, yeah.
The other one's a six pack.
Well, when you're off duty, you do what you want. I mean, sometimes I grab a six-pack on my way home, too.
But
A lot of times we do have, and there's often times when we will have somebody that'll walk up and say, I just saw this. I wasn't going to say anything, but since you're here,
yeah.
why? How do they know we're there? Because we're visible.
You know,
Since you're here, let me tell you what I just saw or what just happened.
Sure.
Or, I have a question for you. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
I wasn't really going to call or say anything, but since you're here,
Sure.
can I tell you about it? Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we're there for.
Absolutely.
It's availability.
And that's the relationship, and that's what makes. And I know, Sheriff, you've since day one. That's been something you've instilled in the department, and keep going. Every deputy and every law enforcement official is a beacon or
That's
that
right.
representative of, and
That's
and,
right.
and the good, bad, and different. They are the
exist.
example, and
They are out there.
Yeah, and there is a certain responsibility and duties that an officer has to kind of abide by
That's
on
right.
when they're in that uniform and are known as a known police officer.
Yeah.
And part of that is just that community. But
And-
that's what makes it work. That's the
Availability.
only. Why do you
Yeah.
think? Why do you think things work so well when you watch Mayberry and those the
Yeah.
small
Oh,
towns?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
because they know everybody and the
Exactly.
relationships work. That's
That's where community policing started.
Exactly. You know, you joke and laugh when Otis let himself into the jail every night, but to be honest, that's more close to law enforcement than what you see.
Absolutely.
Everything else.
Yeah.
You know, it's the relationships.
Well, and you know, just like you were just talking about, the people of this community know that if they have something, they can contact us, and we don't give that information out where it came from. We're very discreet. You know, we also have on the back of every one of our units the Crime Stopper numbers. And the reason for it is because what we need to know is what is happening. We don't care about putting you on a stand to testify to it. We want to know what's happening and let us investigate it on our own and find out if it is happening. And, you know, that's where, as the sheriff's office, I feel like we're not as much into writing tickets because, you know, it's not about the money or monetary. We don't get nothing back on a traffic citation. So for us, it's more about being visible, more about being approachable, and doing what is right for the people of this community and protecting their rights as well. And so that's what we do every day.
Prevention.
It's prevention.
And it's like you said, like you're talking about the traffic citations and things. Yeah, the gross over negligence, the person going 100 miles an hour, the ones doing the gross things. Yeah, you're going to crack down. But yeah,
deal with it.
If you're on 285 and you're doing 72 or 75 and a 70, no one's going to care about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they'll pull you over maybe because that is like if you're. You know, they run you plate or whatever. That's the foot in the door to get the real bad guys.
Sometimes that leads to other things.
Yeah, the bad guys generally get caught not at a raid or something. Generally, it's because their license plate was expired or the headlight was out. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that's how you get them.
And you know, a couple other things that, you know, at the sheriff's office that we've done, we now have the drones. You know, and if you'll see, we're out using those to do surveillance. We do all kinds of different things with those, and
we've had the drone for about a year now.
Yeah, for about a year.
Okay,
and
it's real.
Yeah, we did some search warrants.
It's amazing. We flew it in the house.
Yeah,
okay,
fly it right into.
That's cool.
We flew it into the house. So
nice.
Before we went in the house, we flew it into the house.
Yeah.
We flew it down the hallway.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
around
amazing
the rooms.
what they can do.
We actually looked at what inside,
okay,
so that we could get an outlay of the home before we entered. And
wow!
Then we entered,
and when you're in the house and you see
really
that,
I was about to say that's gotta be a little nervy. You're sitting there.
That's kind of futuristic.
In my head, I pictured them just watching TV, but maybe not. They probably got wind you guys are out there.
Now it didn't open the door. We assisted the door. We opened the door, but
that's the next version. The next version will have a doorbell button.
Will have its own. Have its own hand.
Finger. Bing.
So we have a lot of different. Things right now that we're utilizing, and that's the difference between doing this job 25 years. Whenever I first started, you didn't have the technology you do today, and so now with everything, from your cell phone to your equipment that you're issued is just completely different, and it is assisting us do better police work.
Sure,
it's safer.
And safer.
Well, just the computer technology and stuff, and the information available at an officer's fingertips on site.
Oh yeah,
that's unheard of. Before it's called dispatch and let them do and check and do, and that might take 5-10 minutes.
It may work, it may not, it may be down.
Yeah, and now it's literally they could be sitting at a stoplight and what's going on there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. Let's go get them, or that's fine.
Well, we have card readers now.
Well, and one of the things that's what I'm looking at getting now for the sheriff's office is actually as you're driving down the road, it will run if you go through a hotel parking lot, it runs every license plate in that hotel parking lot.
That's really neat.
Nice.
You don't have to stop. You just keep driving. And
I've heard of this technology they use for like manhunts and stuff. Yeah. Like if they've got a manhunt
kinda
looking on the highways and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so there's these computers just already looking for that license plate. Looking,
and
if it goes by a bank or something, boop,
absolutely.
Okay.
So as you go through there, you're going to know, do we have somebody at the hotel? Do we have somebody who's there wanted? Do we have a stolen car? So the technology has improved so much that it's made things better for us. And also that's important. So when we go to court, we have that to say, look, this was the reason we did what we did because we seen it immediately. And then the video cameras and everything else that we have 21 more cameras coming.
That's great.
So that everybody will have a camera. And that's one of the things that when the governor mandated that everybody wears a body cam, or actually passed it into law, it was the best thing could have happened to us.
I would say it's a training.
We were already doing it.
We were doing it. We just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you got funding for it.
Now we have the backing for it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great tool for
it really is.
The problem it caused was everybody started ordering at the same time, and so it caused a backlog on a lot of things that we had ordered.
It's the Cabbage Patch Kid or whatever.
Right. You can only get so many through the door at once. That's what the problem was.
Man, everybody got the Tickle Me Elmo this year.
That's right.
And then the price went up, and then it dropped.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So. I imagine the webcam or the people that made the personal cam business. They're all sipping pina coladas somewhere right now.
You know the same people that make the radar detectors make the radars.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Exactly. It's kind of like the viruses and virus protection on your computer.
Yeah, that's right.
You know those virus protections are made by the people making the virus.
That's right.
We got to go here. We're running short on time, but folks, if you have any question, need any help, again. Deputy, just see a deputy, they'll take care of you. As far as recruitment goes, I know you're sending a big class right now. You guys still taking applications?
Yes,
or
we
you guys
are. As a matter of fact, we are testing.
We're going to be testing on the 27th.
Okay.
We're sending out, or we have sent out letters. You should be getting a letter if you've applied. You should be getting a letter. 27th of March.
All right.
And right now we are right at about 81 applications total.
Okay.
Which is phenomenal.
That's great to see you've got people turning out, wanting to be.
It would be great to have 81 people show up. Generally, they don't. But you have a percentage that will. So we're real excited about
you find
that.
better candidates that way.
We have 6 positions available.
Okay.
So
if you're interested and you're listening and you're watching, by all means, get online. You can apply online at ChavesCounty.com or you can go in and pick up an application in the Rotunda at number 1 St. Mary's Place.
Yeah.
It's a general application.
You need a good hike, take the handicap ramp.
That's right.
We're on the ground. We're on the ground floor in number 1 St.
You don't
Mary's
need
Place.
to
Absolutely.
But if you need exercise, you guys do that loop.
So if you're interested in law enforcement, it's something you've wanted to do, by all means, come down, fill out an application, or get online, fill out an e-application. I will receive that generally within 3 to 5 business days after you submit it.
Nice.
I'll vet it. We'll look through it. And we'd love to have you come out.
Start the process.
We'd love to have you come out and test and come aboard.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you see a sheriff's deputy around town having lunch, go ahead. And as long as you're not busy working, talk to them.
Talk
about it. They'll be happy to tell you more about it and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, obviously, timing is everything on that. They're in the middle of a traffic stop or doing their job.
Yeah, don't do that.
Maybe wait. Yeah. You will get a retort that will be less than pleasurable to you. But,
exactly.
This is what you don't do.
Exactly.
So, and then we just want to make sure everybody follows the Chaves County Sheriff's Office Facebook page.
Yes.
Get out there and see it.
Constantly updating with things going on.
Right.
Be on the lookouts to our famous felons and everything else.
And because it's tied to Facebook Messenger, if you have something that you need to say, you can go on there. Nobody else sees it but me.
Yeah.
And that's very important to have that tool.
Anonymity or whatever. Or if you don't mind in public, you can comment on anything.
Absolutely. Comment.
Too,
and again, if you know of a crime that's been committed, is being committed, or is about to be committed,
report.
Please contact Chaves County Crime Stoppers or the Sheriff's Department at 624-6500.
And as LT was saying, the checkpoints are coming. They're going to be, more coming. They're going to be on the lookout. Do your part. If you see people weaving and stuff, don't hesitate to call 911.
Restaurants are opening back up.
Bars opening back up.
Bars in the restaurants are opening back up.
Just trust me. You don't play, because I know you'll see someone weaving. I don't want to get. Maybe they're fine. Just call it off. Call the 911. Let the officer pull them over. If they're fine, the officer will determine that and send them on their way. If they're not, you just saved a life tonight.
That's exactly right.
So let's.
Well, we appreciate you and thank you for having us here. And
anytime.
We'll be back.
TGIF, thank goodness it's
That's
Friday.
right. I know. Of course, that's your Monday for you guys.
That's right.
It's just tomorrow. There are no Mondays or Fridays.
Just Fridays are generally the little bit more on the work docket. Usually on those days.
Hurry up and get done before.
Yeah, and it's a nice weekend. That might even make it busier. I'm thinking.
If the weather would stay this way, it'd be great.
Yeah. Well, good. Stay safe, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you so much.
everything you do.
Thank you for having us.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks here, and grab some Mickey D's on the way out.
We sure will.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Save me a hash brown. Other than that, we're good. Thanks, guys.